Guys, it's Jonah here, back with another beer review, and yeah, we're doing another one from Woodford's, and I found out what it was, we're doing the Nelson's Revenge, or sometimes just referred to as Nelson's, because there's another version which I think is pretty similar called Admiral's Revenge, and it's basically a beefed up version of this. Um, Obviously a nautical theme. We've got 4.5%. Again, the labels, I think they've been working on the labels lately, and it's very, very simple. Again, it's got a neck chief. This time it just says brewed in Norfolk. And we've got the Woodford's cap with the Admiral on there, Admiral Nelson, I guess that's going to be. Fine naval tradition and stuff here. Anyway, it says Nelson's is a classic bitter made with 5 hop varieties. It has complex citrus and spice aromas, wonderful malt notes from roasted Norfolk barley. Pays homage to Admiral Nelson and his crew, a true Norfolk hero. And on the old ingredients, what have we got? We've got water, barley, hops, and yeast. And again, 4.5% at a 500ml bottle. And avoid the pregnant ladies like Nelson does. Now, unlike yesterday when I wasn't that prepared, and usually I just like to do the reviews, I was actually interested to see what the hops were and stuff. So I've actually looked up the hops. I have looked up yesterday's hops as well, and I was surprised because there was a lot more hops, a lot more variety of hops than I thought. But in this, we've got Challenger, we've got Goldings, we've got Cascade, Amarillo, and Savinsky, which seems to be one of the hops that they like because it's in a lot of their beers, which is interesting. And yes, there was Cascade in the beer yesterday. There was a little bit of Citra too, and there was some Centennial as well as lots of other hops. So yeah, crazy mix of hops. Right, let us get Venus. Oh, you can see her rear end today. And we will get this into a glass. Now what I've done, it was very cold last time, so I've taken, this one was in the fridge as well. Oh, bit of smoke on there as well. This one was in the fridge, but I've taken it out, about an hour or so ago. So this should be more like cellar temperature. But like yesterday's beer, this is available in bottle and cask. And the cask one is obviously live. The bottle one, unfortunately, is not live. Right, let's do a nice pour. See what we get. So this is more like a pint of bitter. Although the one yesterday was nice and bitter. This wasn't really an IPA in my book. So there we go. Lovely colour, proper colour of bitter. Going to give it a bit of a bash on the bottom. Don't do that too hard, kids. You get in trouble from Unclejona. Right, boom, boom. And then a grin. And that will be the picture on the front of this video. Right, let's see how clear it is, because these two are really super clear. Yep, that one is clear as anything. You can see me through there. Which basically gives the impression that this has been filtered. The yeast killed off and then filtered. And then recarbonated. Headwise, half a finger to 3/4 of a finger's head. It's just off white. It's that kind of off white, not quite a cream. I mean, it's almost white. Put it that way. It's just off, and we're getting proper gnarly hops and gnarly malts. Sweet. One of the things said revenge is bittersweet. That it says on their website, and that's kind of what this is. It is bitter, but it's definitely got a bittersweet thing. Actually, I'll show you on the back. Oh no, this one doesn't have the tasting notes on the back. That's a shame. I thought it might have done. It did yesterday. Now, there's not too much going on. There is a bit of caramel in there. There's a bit of breadiness, bit of sweetness. Um, there is a bit of that, I mean, obviously there's hops in there too. And because of the hops there, I'm getting things like the peach thing coming from the Goldings. Bit of I'm just moving that over so I can read what it says on their website. Might as well while we got it open. Um, yeah, things like a bit of kind of oranginess um, that's coming from, beg your pardon, from the Amarillo that's in this as well. And it does have Cascade. It says here, smell rich, floral, fruity. Not getting so much of the fruit, but I know what they mean, like a cakey, kind of bready kind of aroma. Reasonably high bitterness, citrus, dried fruit as well. Interesting. Right, let's dive in. If you're new to the channel, why not subscribe? I do loads of reviews, got over 1,000 reviews on here, so you can check out your beer. And maybe that's why you're here. Maybe you've looked out a review for this particular beer. Um, my aim was to try and do a review every day. Sometimes I manage that, sometimes I don't. But I have got quite a lot of content. So have a look through, leave me a message, and definitely leave me a thumbs up if I'm entertaining you, because that's all I'm trying to do, really. Cheers and beers. So, again, not as much as yesterday, but again, we've got that carbon dioxide bitterness up front. This is definitely more like an old school kind of traditional bitter. Um, the malts are kind of basically there. There is a little bit of astringency here from the malts, perhaps the interaction of the malts and perhaps the hops. I'm not getting a massive hop bomb or hop profile here, so I'd imagine a lot of the hops have kind of gone into the boil, and maybe the smells and aromas were late boil. I don't think they do things like whirlpooling. They might do some sort of dry hopping, but in this particular beer, I doubt it. There's a hint of spice there. Um, yeah, the dried fruits is coming from that kind of cakiness or Christmas cake, that type of thing. So you're getting the kind of sweetness of the malts, the breadiness, the cakey doughiness there, mixed in with kind of generic hop. Um, I guess I'm getting more kind of orangey kind of spice more than anything else. Yeah, maybe a little bit of that peachiness that I tend to get from, weirdly, both Cascade, although people don't use Cascade that much anymore. They're having this, but also from the Goldings hops, and it just says English Goldings. So I'm not sure if they're using Kentish Goldings, being that Norfolk are not that far away from Kent. Obviously, going up, you've got Essex, and then kind of Suffolk into Norfolk. But yeah, they're one of our kind of neighbours ish. They're definitely East Coast, but it's in that bulge. If you know what England looked like, there's that bulge that's kind of on the right hand side. Yeah, that sticks out. One of them's Kent, the lower one, and the other one is Norfolk, Suffolk, and Essex. We're making a meal of that. Look on the map, you know where Norfolk is. It's broad, put it that way. Yeah, it's weird. Since I've since I've become a camera judge, um, Cask. I've been drinking a lot of Cask lately, obviously because I'm doing camera stuff. But the difference between a live beer and a dead beer, um, or a non-live beer, they call it, is I'm really getting night and day. And these kind of things in cans, in bottles. there's a lot of beers, a lot of supermarket beers that you can get. Um, just feel a bit kind of dead. It's weird. Whereas others that are bottle conditioned, and I don't see, well, I do see the reason for it because they don't last as long, the sell by dates and stuff. So, from a business point of view, that kind of makes sense, I guess. Um, but there's just a lack of kind of flavour there. And when you force carb something, which I'm almost certain that this beer has been forced carb somehow, um, that kind of injected carbonation, um, yeah, it's not the same as when it's re-fermented or fermented in the bottle. When you add a little bit of priming sugar, um, it can affect the clarity, so that might be another reason why people do it. But it definitely, in my opinion, affects the taste. Um, Someone the other day saw my video and replied and said, "Oh, this is one of my local breweries. It's so much better on cask." And I've had Woodforde's beers. I had the Wherry on cask. I think I had the Nog as well, Norfolk Nog on cask. Absolutely lovely, lovely stuff. And of course, I've brewed them both. I've brewed this one as well, actually. Um, and they taste different when they're live beers. Um, and I don't want to be a camera kind of Nazi and say, "Oh, you must only drink cask beer," because there's some really nice craft beers around, but they have other things going on. There are, you know, a lot more hops in, a lot more sugar or lacto or some sort of sweetness to them, and yeah, it's really, really apparent when you have a beer in a bottle like this one is, and you've got had something on cask. It's almost like it's a different beer. It's so bizarre. Packaging methods and delivery methods can make a huge difference. I remember when I had a stout, and we had a cask version versus a draft version, and there was a bottled version as well, but I didn't drink it the same day, and it was totally different. And you could literally taste them next to each other, blindfold, and you wouldn't know that it was the same beer. It's that apparent. And I very much suspect that this on cask will be a lot creamier, smoother. Um, yeah, whereas this one's a little bit astringent, a little bit too clean, a little bit too carbon dioxide-y. Hey, that's my opinion anyway. Right, let's finish this one off. We're getting on as we usually do. Cheers and beers. Oh, but that is like an old school kind of pint of bitter, shall we say. So that is Woodforde's Nelson's Revenge, or some people just call it Nelson's, 4.5%. They don't actually say what it is, what style of beer it is, but that is definitely like a bitter, perhaps even a best bitter, something like that. Anyhow, this has been your loving Uncle Jono drinking beers for your entertainment. And hopefully you have been entertained. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will be back with another beer review real soon.